I am very excited to be chatting to this particular individual. He is part of the live adaptation, the live action version of One Piece that you can catch on Netflix at the moment. Alan Foulis, welcome to KFM Lunch.
EB, thank you so much for having me, man. It's so good to be here.
Let's talk about One Piece, all right? What has it been like, especially for a South African actor, to be on an international Netflix production?
The first thing that strikes you is the scale of a Netflix production. The budget is huge compared to working on your local productions, and obviously the dollar to rand exchange rate assists with that.
Yeah.
But more so than that is One Piece specifically, as a show, has a massive global following. The manga is the biggest selling manga in the world. It started in 1997. It's still going, and it has this enormous following. And when converting it to the live action, obviously a lot of pressure falls onto the producers as well as the actors and crew and everyone involved to kind of do justice to that original story. So stepping into that world and stepping into those sets it's just unreal. The team is massive that works on it, from hair and makeup to production design, all that kind of thing. But what you really feel when you step into is that everyone cares so much. Everyone really wants to succeed, which is something great to be a part of. So as an actor, you do feel a little bit of pressure in terms of wanting to do justice to the story, of course. But you're also in really good hands because everyone there wants exactly the same thing. So you can step in there and have fun.
Working with people that are outside of South Africa, what has their impressions been so far of South African talent, not just from cast, but crew as well?
Yeah, we have some of the best crew in the world, really. And chatting to the internationals that have been here or that are still currently here, they have only positive things to say about working with us, because generally South Africans are really hardworking, humble, and from the crew perspective, obviously work really hard and work to an incredibly high standard. And when you watch the live action show, those sets are all built from scratch.
Wow.
And the attention to detail is nuts. Like, you can walk around a market that they've created for the show, and in the market there are literally individual trinkets in the stores in the background. It's to such a degree that you can't believe it. So you have that, and then you also have working with the international actors working with us have all been very complimentary of the caliber of work that we put out, which is evidence with the success of the show.
That first few days on set, and you're working with international cast and crew, local cast and crew, well, how are the nerves?
You're incredibly nervous building up.
Yeah.
So you get to your trailer and you start putting on wardrobe and you go to hair and makeup, you're still fine there. But then when they're like, okay, cool, we're ready for you on set, then the nerves start kicking in. And you walk in and everybody's waiting for you. So the crew's all waiting, sound is ready, lighting is ready, director's waiting. And they talk to you a little bit about what you want to do, what you're going to shoot, of course. And now the nerves are in full flow. But then as soon as the director says action, you kind of just do your thing. You kind of forget. That's when you settle and you get into it. But the first take is always the nerve-wracking one.
Obviously, because it's manga, based on the manga, on the anime, martial arts, physicality, that has a lot to do with the production as well. What was that like?
That was, look, being physically fit definitely helps a huge amount, because I think, off air I said to you, learning the choreography for these fights is very much like learning a dance.
Yeah.
And that inevitably takes many attempts, depending how good a dancer you are, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't have a lot of fight experience, learning how to fight on camera is a very different experience to your typical fighting that you would do at a gym, for example, or at a boxing gym. So there's one aspect of it. You're working with the team of choreographers who put together these fight sequences, and they will go and shoot the whole thing. It's called a previs.
Okay.
And they will shoot that whole thing. They'll show that to the director and be like, what do you think of this fight we put together? And he'll be like, yes or no. And then if it's yes, then it's their job then to show you that fight and teach you that fight.
Sure.
And so learning that was just the most incredible experience, because the team on this is amazing. And shout out to Sean Verth, who's the stunty who I worked with.
Yeah.
Just so talented. They make it look so easy. It's really not.
There might be some aspiring actors listening right now, and they want to get into the business, or maybe they are in the business, but they become a little despondent because there's a fear that comes for a South African actor in this industry. They want to be a part of it, but they hear some horror stories.
Currently, the climate for it is tricky, purely because you have our industry working or trying to get government to work on the tax rebate story that has caused a bit of consternation. But in terms of actual productions that are happening here, first of all, Cape Town is a global hotspot for international productions wanting to come and shoot here, right? Because we are so versatile in what we can offer. In terms of the productions that happen, there's also quite a range from, obviously you have your smaller budget productions that you work on versus the Netflix stuff that comes in here. But ultimately, my advice would be that every single audition that you're going to do, or self-tape, as we are now doing tons of at the moment for everything, is that don't get jaded about the process. You know, that every single tape is an opportunity for you to see as acting, and that effectively as an actor, your job is to audition. And ultimately they will then pick you for callbacks or whatever it is that comes after. But make the audition and the self-tape your opportunity to act and really express yourself, because that ultimately is what's going to separate you. And it's whether your opportunity comes now, next week, or a year from now, it's your job to be ready when that opportunity comes. So if you get jaded and despondent about it, then you already lessen your chances and you kind of handbrake yourself. So I think the South African film industry is in a really strong position. I think that having One Piece being filmed over the last few years is only bringing more attention to not only South African talent, but our crews and the locations that we have here. So I'm extremely optimistic about the projects that are coming here, because they are coming. And if you are aspiring, please do not stop. It is worth every second on that set.
The most music for your workday with EB English, KFM. 94.5.